What's good, guys? CJ here, and welcome back to another DNA video. Today we're actually reacting to a video by another content creator called Morph, and his video titled Demon Wedge Conspiracy in Duet Night Abyss. Now my community actually reached out to me and told me about this, and they wanted me to check out this video and hear what homeboy over here has to say, so shout out to him. And I have no idea what this is all about. Over the last few days I've been farming demon wedges, and I've been feeling some things are kind of off. But apparently this video confirms that theory, or at least that little feeling I had. So let's go ahead and hear him out.
Buddy, it's Morph here. You might know me as that Hellfire main guy that makes a lot of Hellfire videos and the little boy videos. Well, I'm here to
The what videos?
talk about the Demon Wedge conspiracy. If you want to, hit that like because this is going to be a good one. Subscribe for more Duet Night Abyss content because I do that a lot. And I am live every day, so hit that sub. Let's get into it, guys. The Demon Wedge conspiracy. You might know that
Yo, did this man say the little boy videos? Like,
I have
heard
done a
wrong.
lot of Demon Wedge farming.
yeah.
As proof, I can show you my Hellfire.
Damn!
He has a +10.
Damn, this man got some juicy ass mods over here. Damn, that wildfire's +10. Ooh, okay, he been farming. Farming. Okay.
10 Spectrum, a +10 Midnight Sun, Griffin's Inferno, a +10 Devouring Wildfire, +10
That's crazy.
Duel, and I have a +5 Morale, and I think I have even more than that. On my HP Scaler build, I also have +10 Wing Inspo and +10 Nirvana. That's a lot of +10s and that's a lot of gold. Not to mention my
Yes.
weapons are almost maxed out except for this one because this is one monumental task.
He been grinding, chat. Holy shit. That is the #1 Hellfire main, for real.
Why did I show all this? Because I want you guys to know that I am a credible source for this information. Not only that, recently I did a challenge of farming, ravaging thunder. If I can find it, there it is. 50 copies of this. This is basically Ifrits for Electro.
Damn.
And guys, I did one stream, 11 hours.
This right here is exactly what I'm talking about. So yeah, this is what the video is going to be about. So I was farming for my lady Nipple because y'all know I love her. Her toes are great. And as I was farming for her, I was trying to target Scorch, right? Sometimes I would do leave the lobby and come back in or whatever it might be, using my books, everything. And the more I kept farming the stages, I was like, why are all my drops looking kind of equal, bro? Like, there wasn't a big disparity in my drops. Like, I wasn't out here with like 13, Scorch with only 2 of the other ones. It was all like very, very similar. And this is exactly what I'm talking about. They're all like neck to neck with each other.
To farm all of this. One stream, 11 hours, 50 copies. And I can safely say that Demon Wedge farming in this game is absolutely not good. It's kind of hard, and I'm gonna explain to you guys why it's hard. And
I don't think Demon Wedge farming is hard. I think Demon Wedge farming is tedious. But at the same time, it's one of those things that if you're just grinding it, right, you could take your time with it. It is tedious. You could say boring, repetitive, but it's not hard.
I don't know if people will like it or not. There is no
Okay.
RNG involved to begin with. So let's get into the explanation, shall we? So you remember I have a +10 Ifrits, correct?
Mm-hmm.
So when I finished my Ifrits, I got 63 copies of the Covenanters in relation to the Ifrits. So it would be, if we can find it, hopefully we can find it. Here it is. 63 copies of Eternity. This one's I use some of the inspo, that's why it's less. Also this one I use some of this one. So around 63 to 61 copies to get 50 copies of Ifrits. Now remember, I have also 50 copies of Ravaging Thunder, and as you can see right here, I also have 63 copies of Morale, Covenanter's Blaze for Electro.
I will say that farming the element, not these mods, but the specific, like, I don't know what you call these mods, bro, but y'all know what I'm talking about. Like the wildfires and this one's over here, it's gonna be a little bit more tedious than farming this. Like, I don't know if target farming is gonna be good, but the way I see it from my opinion, my personal perspective is, at least with this, you know that if you go in there farming, you'll eventually have enough of these. Because imagine if I mean, I still don't know if this is 100% confirmed. This seems pretty freaking solid. But imagine if you went in there and you were trying to farm like Scourge, and you farm for 10 hours, and then you had like 12 Scourge, and you had like 47 of this one, right? That would be kind of AIDS, bro. So maybe the pity is not that bad. I guess target farming is kind of out the window, and you're kind of just random, or, you know, pretty much on the dot. You're going to farm and you're going to get what you get. But at the same time, if it was random, I think it would be a little bit worse, personally. I don't know.
This is not a coincidence. It is impossible to be a coincidence to happen twice, correct? This is absolutely what is happening with this farm, and I'm gonna explain exactly what's happening.
Hear me out. Solutions. You can dismantle a wedge for materials that you need two of. Yeah, I think we should definitely be able to dismantle wedges and get currency to craft other wedges, or at least have some sort of trading system where you trade in like 4 of a specific wedge for one that you actually want. You know, 2 for 1 or 4 for 1. I don't know. It could be whatever, but 100% think that that could be a good way to facilitate the wedge, grind.
All right, first things first, we have to go to the Noctojaeger manual, wherein you're gonna be farming this.
Oh,
So you're gonna select this, and what's gonna happen is when you select this, you look at the rewards that are possible as bonuses, and you're gonna see the rewards that you get from here, right? So your chance of getting this one, which is the important one, there's like shiny stuff on it. That means it's important and good. Then you have these 2 trash items right here. It's not totally trash, but compared to this, it is trash. If
Yeah.
you're gonna hate this, you're gonna be getting a lot of this.
Yeah.
And you can look at the possible rewards down here. The way it works, when you get the bonus rewards, it's down here, correct?
Mm-hmm.
You're gonna cycle through each and every one of these things 64 times or 63 times. It is a specific number of runs that until you get those number of runs, you're not gonna get 50 copies of the Ifrit or of the Ravaging Devouring or of the Ravaging Thunder. Sorry, I combined the 2 into 1.
I'm gonna watch the rest of the video, but does he know if it's a specific amount of runs or a specific amount of wedges? Like, if someone were to do this like 5 times and use the 2000% boost that you can buy in the store, and you get like a shitload of those wedges, would it still keep the same equation around it? Like, would you still need to run it like 60 times, or would it be fine because you eventually get still 60 something on each one of them?
So remember, you have to do 64 copies of these ones. And for you to get 64 copies of these ones, you almost have to rotate 64 times whatever this is. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. We can count that again because I'm terrible at counting. 1,
You don't need
2,
to count
3,
all that,
4,
bro.
12,
Shit. We get it a lot.
17 possible bonuses at the end.
17?
And you're gonna go through it
A lot.
64 times to get this one. Now you might not get 64 copies of this because this is a little bit rarer, but you will get 64 copies of this for sure. And there's almost no way around it, guys. There is no RNG. If you're gonna use a booster, all you're gonna do is go through the cycle faster. You're just gonna get through it quicker. You're gonna get through the farm faster. You're gonna do the less number of runs. So let's just say 17 times 64.
We're
Let's see
doing
my
quick
phone
math
and
now.
get
Okay.
the answer for you guys.
We got a
Phone,
little Rimuru Tempest on his shoulder.
calculator, brain work.
Hmm.
17 times 64 copies. 8,088.
Doing a whole
That's
bunch of
about
math.
close to what I was imagining before with the other farm, the Griffin's farm. I calculated about 100, 1,100 if you will not do it with boosters.
1,100 what?
And if you don't
Runs?
have a lucky hit on your boxy. Thankfully enough, guys, this is very, very good news for you. The boxy with Frugal will almost always work on this
Shout out to Boxy. He the real bro out here, bro. Holding it down since day one.
farm. On the Demon Wedge hunt, it almost
Oh, drops, not runs. Okay,
always
okay.
works. So the 1,000 number that we calculated is gonna get almost cut in half immediately. So you're looking
Oh,
more at around 500 runs or so. And
wait, no.
so you're looking more at around 500 runs or so.
He just said 500 runs. He said the number's gonna get cut in half to 500 runs. What the fuck? Hold on.
Immediately. So you're looking more at around 500 runs or so.
You tell me this man did 500 runs? That's a whole
And
lot
that
of grinding.
500 runs or so will be lessened if you
Oh,
have
with books.
green boosters by
Yeah.
the number of the green booster, because it's just
Good,
gonna
good,
double
good.
up some stuff.
Okay, that's chill. That's
And
not
you get
bad.
through the cycle faster.
That's not
So
bad, chat.
a booster, a green one, is actually equals to 1 run.
Is that y'all think that's bad? So if you have Boxy with your Frugal on it, you go down from 1,000 to 500, and then if you use your green books, right, that we get every day for free, you're bringing that number down even more, right? So yes, it's still grindy, but he's talking about max duping demon wedges to the that's the highest tier of end game in the game, and that doesn't even sound that bad in my opinion, right? And you're cycling through all of them, and trust me, you're gonna need a lot of these mods for many different builds, whether it's for your weapons, for your characters. So personally, I don't think that's that bad. I don't feel as bad now when I do a run and I'm not getting scorch mods or wedges, because I know at the end of my grind, I'll eventually have enough scorch, enough of each one of them for all my different characters, right? All my different characters of that element. So
Blue one is equals to 2 runs, and a purple one is equals to 8 runs. If you're gonna use your 20 times manual, you might double up on some of the Ifrits, or you might get 3.
Plus 10 wedges are fine grind. It only becomes too much once you need multiple of one cup. Yeah, I agree with that, Komu. I think I agree with you too much, because if I'm going to be grinding down for Scorch mods and I just want a lot of Scorch mods, it's going to be a little bit shitty to have all these insane amounts of every other mods as opposed to my Scorch mods. So on that regard, it's a little bit bad. Now, I don't think this method, or if the devs did code it like this, I don't think it's bad. I think that it has the easiest way to add a fix into the game, and it's add a 2-for-1 or 4-for-1 ratio trade, where you can go in and trade 2 or 3 or 4 wedges for the one you want. That way, and keep it in the same family. So like if you're trying to trade, if you want this one over here, right? You can trade only these 3, right? So you can trade, I don't know, random number, 3 of this one for 1 of this one. It's not like you can trade 3 of this one for 1 of this one. Keep it in the same family, in the same category, and then boom, easy. Easy. Sped up the grind, guarantee good results, and you get what you want.
You might get lucky, but I am gonna tell you guys, you will have to still do the same number of runs minus your booster. So again, if it's like 500, it's gonna be 480 if you use the booster. If you use a 220, if you have a lot of boosters, then you're good. You're not gonna have to run it so often. But your booster is not really giving you RNG. There is no way to get using a 20 times manual. There's no way for you to get 20 copies of Ifrit's Devouring Wildfire or Ravaging Thunder. That is a myth, and that will never happen. Even
Okay, well, that at least tells me that it's not necessarily worth it to use high tier commission books for this, at least if you're trying to like, oh, I need to get 200 scorch right now, and you go and use your gold book and you think you're gonna get like 700, or not 700, but like, 80 out the gate. That's not gonna happen. So on that regard, there's probably other things that you can get more use out of them high tier books if you're someone that's spending money for them, right? At least that's what I'm getting. It's still gonna get speed up your run, obviously, but you're not gonna go in there, use a gold book, and just get like, 100 scorch wedges right out the gate, for example.
if you do get it, you'll notice that you won't get it for a while until you go through about 64 copies of the Covenanter's Blaze, or 63 copies. 64, 63. It's around that number. You're gonna notice it, and let me tell you, it is one hell of a grind. It is not for the faint of heart, and I highly suggest that you do not do it for one sitting 11 hours in one stream. Do
Homie
it
was
slowly.
suffering, but hey, his
Some
character's
people
strong
say
now.
that they got luckier at they only did 10 a day, but I kind of don't believe it. 10 a day, and then the first like 10 in the day you have a higher chance of getting it, and then you get diminishing returns. I don't think that's how it is. You really are gonna end up with 60 plus numbers of Covenanters before you get 50 copies of what you really want, which is the Ifrits or Ravaging Thunder or whatever.
Okay, well, I get the whole gist of the video. I'm glad he put it out. I'm sure there are people that are going to disagree with this. Some people are going to say their personal experience has been different. But at the end of the day, not only did Homie put out his own experience, but he backed it up by having a metric ton of plus 10 gold wedges. So at the end of the day, people's experiences might vary. But from what a lot of the people in the community have been saying, people in my chat and everything, it seems that this is pretty accurate for like almost everybody. Like I said yesterday and over the last few days, I've been farming a little bit for my lady nipple, and I've kind of noticed that I'm nowhere near even remotely close to these numbers because I've been doing other stuff. I've been making videos and shit, but I have noticed that my demon wedges have been relatively on par with each other. I don't use gold books or none of that because I'm pretty much kind of free to play right now, apart from buying like cosmetics and the monthly. And I have noticed that. So honestly, cool video. He went out of his way to put that out there. What do you guys think about it? Do you have an issue with the fact that we can't just randomly get drops at random rates, or do you like it this way? I gotta be honest, for me personally, I don't have a problem with them being like this, because if they were completely random, I do think that it would be harder, right? It would be harder for you. Like now it is going to be a freaking grind, but it would also be harder to get the one you want with so many in the pool. And I feel that if the devs want to, make this a little bit smoother, a little bit better, all they can do is add a shop, or maybe even in your own inventory, a way for you to trade, 4-to-1 even. 4-to-1 is a lot, but it's still a way for you to trade 4-to-1 of the wedge you want and just keep it in the same family. So the Covenanters for Covenanters, and you guys get the drift, right? That's pretty much the idea that I think would be best, to facilitate that grind a little bit more, and still allow this to be absolutely fine. I think this is not a problem for me. I do see how it could be very tedious, especially like, for example, I'm running like 4 or 5 scorch on my lady nipple. That seems like it's going to be a very tedious grind when you know this, but at the same time, if it was just completely random, it could probably take you more than these runs. It could take you double, or it could take you half the time. The RNG is the RNG, but that's going to be it for this video, ladies and gentlemen. I do appreciate y'all for watching. Thank you for letting me know about this video. Anybody else that wants me to react to content, whether it's random people's opinions, reviews, or interesting things out there, just drop it on the Discord. We have a nice little react section. And for now, have a great day, everybody. and peace.